welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another patron roster review, and this is NoomiZ from Twilight Calling. Relatively new to Twilight Calling, not too long ago joined, and they have been really hyper-focusing NoomiZ. Now, NoomiZ is a free-to-play that's been playing for the last year. However, had the account for almost 2 years, but took a huge break and has played consistently for the last year and then off and on prior to that. And large breaks tend to really damage your arena viability because people continue to progress and you don't, and so you get kind of pushed out. And that's why NoomiZ is in kind of outside of the top 1,000. There are some other reasons. We're going to go into that, and I think we're going to be able to get you into the top 500 pretty easily with some activity and some modifications to mods and your arena teams. So we're going to get right into it. Really, all NoomiZ wants to know is basically just wants to go ahead and focus on both arenas and what should be focused on in both arenas. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing about arena is it's all about speed, and so that's probably why you have a Rex there, because you know that Rex is going to give you additional turn meter, which really helps compensate for a lack of good mods. But a big but, your team that you're using is primarily like an Empire team with, you know, Emperor Palpatine and Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader, and so you have a capability of actually getting a lot of natural turn meter through the leadership ability of Emperor Palpatine. You also have a Zeta there, so definitely one of those things that I would highly recommend you switch out and put an Emperor Palpatine Darth as the leader, Darth Vader underneath, and Grand Moff Tarkin. Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin do tons of debuffing, which is going to be the turn meter you need for the team. Now, there's two other characters I would recommend for this team, and that is going to be right here in your second and third rows, this General Kenobi and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, both of them are gear 7-star gear 8. I know as free-to-play, it's very difficult to get these geared up, but these two are going to be far better in your team than, you know, Ezra or Kylo Ren or, you know, anybody else that you're using. So right now, I mean, if you want to keep your arena team the same, that's fine, but you need to develop these two characters completely out, at least to gear 11. But when these characters hit gear 10, the moment they trip over to gear 10, so you need to finish gear 8 and finish gear 9. The moment they hit gear 10, you can go ahead and throw them in your arena team, and they'll be viable enough for this team. But General Kenobi and Thrawn will both work. Thrawn works great because he's Empire. He's going to benefit from a lot of that synergy with Emperor Palpatine lead, and General Kenobi is just a great tank. You need a great tank in arena or you're going to fall. And when we look at your arena, you're actually not even using currently a tank in your lineup. Kylo Ren is a great character, lots of damage, but you really don't need Kylo Ren's damage. What you need is some durability. The other thing about your arena team that's currently suffering is if we look at your team, you have, you know, 1-dot mods on some of these characters. Some of these characters have no mods at all. So if we look at, you know, Emperor Palpatine, you just don't even have any mods. So I looked at a lot of your characters, and you're missing a ton of mods. You have a lot of low-end mods on these characters. So you're going to have to really make mods your #1 priority if arenas are going to become important to you, because your crew members are all going to need 6 5-dot mods. And your arena team needs at a minimum 6 5-dot mods, and you're going to want to kind of have synergy with, you know, your mod sets. The sets are, you know, the capability of getting bonuses by having a pair, either 2 or 4 of a particular set bonus. I know you said mods is kind of your weakness, and so the good news is mods 2.0 is coming down the pipeline, and it's going to be able to make mod recommendations for you. It's going to be able to help you auto assign mods. My only suggestion is that you basically get rid of anything that's not a 5-dot mod, and then immediately start going into the store, the mod store that is, every day, and look. Always keep some of your credits. Now, I know when you're free to play, you never have enough credits, but it's like a savings account. If you never have money, you always go into debt. In this game, if you don't have money, you'll never, credits, you'll never be able to get mods. And so you need to save up 5 to 10 million credits that you don't spend ever for anything except for mods. And that way, when you see that mod for, 2 million credits, you're able to actually buy it when it has that speed secondary. Only buy mods that have a speed secondary showing, because you need mods really bad for arena, and speed will always be a priority in arena. With Emperor Palpatine as the lead, though, you're going to get way more damage output. You're going to get way more speed. because he naturally boosts potency, and so that means your debuffs with your Empire are going to naturally land better. And so definitely that's the switch out I would do. Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, and then eventually Thrawn and General Kenobi. In the meantime, I would actually still do Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, but until Thrawn and General Kenobi are ready, I would throw Kylo Ren in like you have him, and Ezra. So that way you just have two massive damage dealers to help you kind of carve through and get there. But just remember, all the turn meter gains that you're going to get from the debuffs, that turn meter gain equals speed, and debuffs equal that turn meter gain. So it's really pretty simple with this team. You just need to get rid of it. Now, Rex is a good leader, but for the characters you're running, Emperor Palpatine is better for sure. And when you mod these characters, really, it doesn't even matter how you mod them, just 5-dot mods on these characters. The only two that actually need to be modded correctly would be Darth Vader and Thrawn, once you have him correct, or once you have him leveled up. And Thrawn would need to be your second fastest character, with Darth Vader being your fastest. So you're going to want to just comb through all of your mods, looking for any mod that has secondary speed, and all of your best secondary speed for each slot. You're going to want to pull those off, put them on Darth Vader, because the faster Darth Vader is, the faster he's going to be able to start your turn meter engine for your team. But at the end of the day, mods have to become a big deal for you. They have to become a priority. You're going to have to spend time farming them. And the good news is you're not going to have to worry about mod sets in the future. You'll be able to get any mod set farmed because it'll be open to any team, as well as you'll be able to have separate energy that you'll be able to farm with. So you won't have to compete with your Cantina energy anymore. So the mods 2.0 should really fix a lot of these issues that you're having. And this should be able to pull you into the top 500 pretty quick. Now, as far as farming really quick, you did say you're going for Jedi Training Rey, and you've got BB-8 7 stars, Rey Scavenger, Poe, Finn. I mean, like all your characters are looking pretty good, actually, Finn. But those are all Gear 9, and then you can see your Veteran Smuggler. Han is only 1 star away, and then Veteran Smuggler Chewie is at the very beginning. So you got to really put the pedal to the metal with these two. This would be my number 1 and number 2 priority for farming right now, for sure, in Cantina, because you need to get these guys and get them as fast as possible for Jedi Training Rey, because you have every other piece of the puzzle for Jedi Training Rey, and you definitely want her there. You can also use her in Arena, so definitely one of those things you're going to want to focus on. But you said you were focused on the vets at this time, so hopefully that will help you with Arena. I did want to talk about ships real quick. So currently you're running the Executrix with Biggs and the Scimitar, and then you're using Ghost. Now I'm going to suggest you actually replace Ghost with the TIE Silencer, and this is why. The Ghost is cool, but the Ghost isn't as strong as the TIE Silencer and doesn't do as much damage as the TIE Silencer. And the TIE Silencer has a stun, which is control, and with control comes the ability to take your opponent out a little easier than you would without. And so all you have to remember is target whoever has more turn meter. If they have 50% or more turn meter, you're going to be able to possibly get that stun. And Kylo Ren Unmasked isn't a horrific farm at all. In fact, you already have him 7 stars in this, and this ship 7 stars. This was a really easy to get, free to play, farmable character and ship, and that's why it's so high. But just know that it can do a lot of damage and it has a lot of control. So I would put this in your front 3 line, and then in your backup, I would actually put in Darth Vader. And the reason is, coming out of backup, he's going to come out, and then the very next turn Executrix is going to take will be offense up, and Darth Vader is going to be shooting for a ridiculous sum of damage, like 100,000 damage. This is a one shot for anybody. So his first in, he's the most powerful first in reinforcement for the Executrix, and that's what you're running. So I would definitely recommend him as number 1. Number 2 would then be the Phantom 2. You do need to finish the reinforcement materials on the Phantom 2, but you've got a decent setup with this ship, especially because you have a Zated Ezra, and you've already got the other characters 7-star, Gear 8 and 10 respectively, and so the abilities are pretty good. But having this ship in, it's another massive damage dealer, and it will help the Executrix pull in number 3 quickly, which will then be your Slave 1. And it makes sense because it's a tank to replace Biggs, because Biggs will be damaged. You have it totally maxed out, and you have the reinforcement bonuses there. So it makes sense to have this. So I would say Executrix with Biggs, TIE Silencer, Scimitar, and in the backup, Darth Vader, Phantom 2, and Slave. Now I do want to say that just like in regular arena, you develop your arena team. Just like in ships, you're going to want to develop your crew members. So any ship that you're using, you're going to treat it like arena. You're going to pull those crew members. You're going to slap a favorites on them. You're going to put them in your favorites. Just like arena, you're going to slap a favorites tab on them and have them there. And then you're going to slap favorites on the vets. So you'll have your 2 arena teams and vets. You should have anywhere from 8 to 12 characters in your favorites. And what your focus is to strip all their mods off and re-mod them with only 5-dot mods, making Darth Vader as fast as possible. The other thing is it makes sense, right, to put protection on a tank, to put potency crosses on the characters that debuff, such as Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader, things like that. And if you can get some speed arrows, putting speed arrows on everybody that's in your arena teams if possible, specifically regular arena. So hopefully this gives you a chunk of characters to really hyper focus on. And I know with mods, like I said, that's your least focus, but when mods 2.0 changes here soon, hopefully in the next few weeks, you will be able to come back into here and have easier access to mods and have easier access to mod sets and the upgrading and all of that. If you have any questions on your roster review with either arenas or on the questions on the modding and stuff like that, please leave them in the comments down below or hit me up privately on my Discord chat, NoomiZ. But really, modding is your #1 priority, and then the characters that are in both arenas, crew members and the vets, are your highest priority as being free to play. I don't want to give you too much to chew on. Looking forward to seeing the development that you get over the next few months. And as always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.